The number one question that I'm asked across all platforms is how I'm learning Farsi. I'm Iranian American. My parents strictly spoke Farsi growing up, and I was a first generation American who was stubborn, and I rejected it, and my parents would tell me that I would regret it and that I would wish that I spoke Farsi more, and they're right. I would say that I can speak Farsi fairly well on my own. Definitely not to a point of fluency, and definitely not to a point where I can speak formally. I also don't know how to read and write. I have been learning how to read, write, and speak in Farsi. And I've been using 3 different methods, and I'm here to talk about all 3 of them, which ones are the most effective and what's been helping me the most, and so on and so forth. The first method is the newest method I've been using, and it's that I'm actually enrolled in a class to learn how to read, write, and speak in Farsi, which I would also say is the least effective way that I've learned. The class that I'm taking is very grammar focused, it's very focused on learning the principles of it. It's the same way that when people learn how to speak English through school, you just don't hear people on the street speaking in the way that I'm learning. Secondly, I feel like the people in my class are not necessarily super focused on the subject. They don't really want to be there. Some people are in there because they need like a language credit, and it's just not a very serious environment. So it's hard for me to focus. It's also hard for me to get one-on-one when there's 20 other people in the class saying, I'm confused. Because of that, I also can't work at my own pace. And so it gets really difficult when I feel like I've mastered something and I still have to wait on it for 3 more days, or vice versa if I feel like I'm struggling with something and my professor's already moved on. I'm sure that in other cases, taking a class can be very helpful, and I don't think that this is not helpful. I think it's definitely not the best course of action for learning a language. Realistically, the best course of action to learning a language is going to the country of origin and being surrounded by it and speaking the language, which for me is very difficult considering what's happening in the world. However, another option is purchasing a book. I bought this book for my Farsi class that I'm taking at school. This book I think is great. It's very simple to understand. I don't think you need a class to understand the book. I would explain it as being in kindergarten, like the equivalent of being in kindergarten in Iran is what I'd assume this book is like, because it literally goes step by step in learning the alphabet, step by step in learning numbers, step by step on how to write everything, because it makes you rewrite letters 50 million times so that you know how to write them. The only downside to this is that you can't hear anything. A lot of the times I'll catch myself reading a letter or reading a word or reading something that I think I know how to pronounce, and then I'll hear somebody say it and I'm like, oh my god, I've been pronouncing this wrong the entire time, or I've been reading this wrong. And when you have questions, there's nobody to ask. From my perspective, it's a great book. There's a lot of descriptive paragraphs before lessons telling you the rules, the ins and outs, and everything about that. There's also a lot of practice in it. So after you're done learning a lesson, there are like worksheets in the actual textbook that you can write in. The thing that's absolutely helped me the most, the thing that is teaching me how to read and write, is a YouTube channel. There is a YouTube channel on YouTube called Cheyenne Conversation. The person who runs it, her name is Layla. She is so sweet. She's so fun to watch, and she is so good at what she does. She essentially does everything that I'm learning in this book on her own. She has like this huge post-it note that she uses to write every letter, and she teaches you how to pronounce the letter, how to write the letter, how to use the letter, whether it's connecting, non-connecting, how to read, how to write. Like, it's great. This is not sponsored at all. I just absolutely love it. This is how I'm learning how to read and write as well as speak, because she has her YouTube channel, which has a lot of fun videos about reading, writing, as well as conversation that she has her husband in, which is really cute because he didn't know how to speak Farsi, or doesn't know, I'm not sure. But she's also teaching him, which is so cute. But alongside that, she also has a full course that you can pay for that comes with not only the videos, but also practice worksheets and like extra help. It's just an amazing program, and it goes by the same routine as this book does. A lot of the times I'll find myself at like the same level or same chapter. Both this book and Cheyenne Conversation use the same order. If I have trouble with the book, I'll just go into the video, and if I have trouble with the video, I'll practice in the book. Like, I just kind of interchangeably use these two, and it's been so helpful. It's nice to know that you don't need to spend a ton of money to try to learn these things, because again, you don't have to take the entire program. You don't have to pay for the entire program. You can just watch the YouTube videos, or you can just get the book. But I think personally that doing a combination of those two, or even just taking a class, is the absolute best way that I'm learning. I also have a few tips and tricks that I can show you, maybe in a later video depending on how many people really want to see them. But yeah, this is how I'm learning, and it's been a journey. I'm not gonna say it's easy. Unlike the book that's literally called Farsi Made Easy, I wouldn't say it's easy. It obviously takes dedication. You need to be focused in it. You can't just like, it's kind of like when Duolingo sends you the message like every day that's like, have you practiced yet? You're going to lose your streak. You kind of have to continuously practice or you will forget things because it's a language. It's not like some stupid homework that you're never going to think about ever again. It's something that you're trying to use in your life every day or most days or even just some days. So it is something that you have to put a lot of energy into and a lot of focus into. But if you really want to do it, it's absolutely possible. These are the ways that I do it, and I hope you enjoy this. I hope that it's helpful. If you're trying to learn, like, let me know how you're learning. Let me know if these are the things that have helped you too. Also, Duolingo, please add Farsi, because you know how helpful that would be? Like, seriously, there are no good... Part of the reason why I've been using all of these random different things to help me learn is because there are no apps that are just like popular, easy, fun apps like Duolingo that have Farsi. Farsi is available on Duolingo Kids, but you have to pay for it, but it's not available on the regular Duolingo. This little green bird better watch out. I upload every Friday, so I'll see you next Friday. Let me know if you want any more content about me learning Farsi or Persian, whatever you want to call it. I'll see you next Friday. Bye-bye.